Margaret, go to the parlor. You should find Cousin Beatrice talking to the boss and Claudio. Whisper to her that Ursula and I are going for a walk in the orchard and we're going to talk about her. Tell her that you overheard us and that she should hide herself to listen in on our conversation. That is your job, so do it well and leave us now.
I'll get her to come right away.
Ursula, when Beatrice does come, as we walk down the path, we will only talk about Benedict. When I say his name, it's your job to make him sound so good he wouldn't even deserve it. I'm going to talk about how much in love Benedict is with Beatrice. This talk will take Cupid's place and progress things hearsay.
The best thing is to catch a gilded fish by a false bait. I will play my part effectively.
Then let's go closer to her to make sure she hears everything of the sweet lies we tell. Really, Ursula, she is too contemptuous, and I know she is a wild spirit.
Are you sure Benedict loves Beatrice completely?
According to the boss and my fiancé.
And did they tell you to tell her about it?
They didn't tell me to tell her, but I persuaded them that if they care for Benedict, they would let him struggle with his feelings and never let Beatrice know.
Why did you tell him that? Don't you want Beatrice to be happy?
Oh goodness, I knew he deserves as much as anyone else, but Beatrice is the most prideful woman I've ever met. She is full of disdain and scorn so that what she sees is distorted, and she thinks she is so witty. She is not capable of love or even feelings for any man because she is so self-centered.
I agree. She must not know Benedict loves her, in case she makes fun of him for it.
You are right. I have never seen a man so wise, noble, young, and good-looking. But she would reverse everything, and just like how she turns every man inside out and never accepts the truth.
Exactly. Such complaining is not a good trait.
It is not strange, and the way Beatrice acts is not admirable. But who would dare say that to her face? If I were to tell her, she would mock me non-stop and pressure me almost to death. So let Benedict waste away in his love. It would be a better death than to die by her mocking him.
Oh, don't do your cousin such wrong. She must not know better than to refuse Benedict without true judgment, because of his quick and she's lucky to have her.
He is the only good man in Italy, besides my dear Claudio.
Don't be mad at me for speaking my mind. Benedict is the best man in Italy.
Yes, he does have a good reputation.
He earned it, so has he? When is your wedding?
Actually, tomorrow. Go inside and I'll show you some clothes so I can get your opinion for what to wear tomorrow.
She is trapped, I tell you. We got her.
If that is true, then love will ensue. Sometimes Cupid kills with arrows, other times with traps. What have I just heard? Can this be true? Do they really think I'm so prideful and scornful? I must be nicer. And Benedict, continue to love me, and I will tame my heart to love you. And my kindness should provoke you, and soon we shall be married. For others think you deserve it. So do I.
I will stay until your marriage is secure, and then I will go to Aragon.
I'll accompany you there if you'll allow me to.
No, that would ruin the start of your marriage. I will go with Benedict because he is fun to be with. He is able to solve problems with love, so his heart is strong and he speaks his mind.
Gentlemen, I haven't been myself lately.
I've noticed that. You've been sadder. I hope he is in love.
Don't be ridiculous. There is no part of him that would be in love. If he is sad, he probably needs money.
Actually, I have a toothache.
Then pull it out.
Hang it!
Hang it first, then pull it out.
All that for a toothache?
It's either a joke or a lie.
Well, everyone knows what's wrong when it's not their problem.
I say he is in love.
He doesn't seem to be in love unless he's hiding it. He isn't foolish enough to fall for someone, as you suggest he has.
If he's not in love, then there's no way of telling he is. He brushed his hair this morning. What is that supposed to mean?
Has anyone seen him at the barber?
No, but his assistant was seen with him, and he already looked different.
He does look younger. That's probably because he shaved his face.
He put on cologne. Can't you smell it?
That's enough to know he's in love.
The strongest evidence is his sadness.
What about when he didn't wash his face?
Or when he painted himself like I heard he did.
But he usually jokes around so much, and now his words have been turned into music.
That's true. There's a lot going against him. He must be in love.
And I know who loves him.
I do too. I believe they don't know how he feels.
Yes, and they don't know how lovesick he is, but still they die for him.
Do you disregard my toothache? Come, walk with me. I have some things to tell you which these fools cannot hear.
I bet they will talk about Beatrice.
Yes, and Hero and Margaret have done their part with Beatrice. That way the two animals won't kill each other when they meet.
Hello, brother. Hope you are well.
Good evening, brother.
If you would allow, I'd like a word with you.
In private?
If that's okay. Though Claudio can hear because it concerns him.
What's wrong?
Are you getting married tomorrow?
You know he is.
I'm not so sure once he finds out what I know.
If there's a problem, you must let me know.
You may not think I like you, but don't think of that now and leave it until after I tell you.
Why? What's going on?
I came here to tell you because she has been the topic of conversation for far too long. She is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Yes, Leonardo's hero. Your hero, the very one.
Disloyal?
That word is too good for what she has done. I could say worse than that. Think of a worse word and it would fit her. Come. We will be together tonight and you will see her at her window, even the night before the wedding.
Could this possibly be true?
I don't believe it.
If you don't believe me, come and see for yourself. When you have seen and heard enough, make your choices.
If I see anything tonight, why wouldn't I marry her tomorrow? It would be awful to leave her at the altar.
And I worked too hard to woo her for you, so I must join you in shaming her.
I won't talk badly about her anymore until you see for yourself.
What an awful day.
How strangely this deception has happened.
How good we prevented something really bad from happening. You will see for yourself when you see what is to come.
What do you want? I want to talk to you about something very important, sir.
Okay, but hurry, I'm very busy.
It is a very busy time, sir.
Yes, very busy.
What's going on? Sorry. Verges doesn't talk well. He is very old and he is not very smart. But he is very honest.
But I am more honester than any other man.
It is not polite to make comparisons.
You are boring me.
Thank you. If only I was as boring as a king, I would give you everything.
So, you would give me all of your boredom.
Even if I had $1,000 more, I hear you are well exclaimed throughout the Midwest.
And so am I.
Be quiet, I want to hear the news.
Sir, we have caught the most dangerous criminals in the Midwest.
I like Verges, but he never makes any sense. You know what they say. When the age is in, the wit is out. You did a good job. Well, not everyone is equal, right, Leonardo?
Indeed, he isn't as smart as you.
It's God's gift.
I'm going back to the wedding.
Before you leave, I have to tell you about the 2 auspicious men we caught. You should interrogate them in the morning.
You interrogate them and tell me what you find. I am in a hurry right now.
That will be suffrage.
Drink some wine before you go. Goodbye.
Sir Leonardo, your daughter is waiting for you to walk her down the aisle.
I'm coming!
Go to Francis C. Cole. Tell them to get a pen. We will examine men.
And we will do it wisely.
We will get a non-com, and the writer will record our excommunication.
Good, Ursula. Go and get my cousin Beatrice out of bed.
Yes, my lady.
When she is up, please ask her to come to me.
Of course.
I think you should wear your other ruff to the wedding. I'm not very fond of this one.
No, Margaret, I prefer this one.
I think Beatrice would agree that the other one is much better.
You are both fools. I'm definitely going to wear this one.
I do love your new wig and headdress, though I'd prefer your hair to be one shade browner. But your gown is absolutely flawless. Your dress might even surpass the exquisiteness of the gown of the Duchess of Milan.
But everyone says that her gown is superior to all others.
I think that her dress is as good as a nightgown in comparison to your lovely dress. With the interwoven golden cloth, silver trim, embroidered pearls, side sleeves, and blue trim skirt, your gown is worth 10 of hers.
I hope I'm happy with it at the wedding. My heart is feeling heavy.
Your heart will only be heavier soon with the weight of a man.
Watch your mouth, Margaret. Don't you have any shame?
Why should I have any shame in something as honorable as marriage? Marriage is something still honorable for a beggar, right? Don't you believe your Lord to be an honorable man? Sorry, perhaps you'd like me to use the word husband. Tell me what is wrong with you admitting that your husband is going to lie to you. There's nothing wrong with it. If it is the correct man with the correct wife, everything is proper.
Good morning, Beatrice.
Good morning, sweet hero.
You don't sound well, dear. Are you sick?
I think I have fallen ill. I can't speak any other way.
It is not difficult to sing Light on Love. If you wish to break out in song, you may sing while I dance.
Your heels are light on love, Margaret. When you finally have a rich husband, you'll let him do whatever he wants.
I will never succumb to that lifestyle.
It's almost 5, hero. You need to get ready. Honestly, I'm only feeling sicker.
Are you yearning for a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
Actually, I have an ache.
We can't trust you if you have not rejected your own principle on the matter of a husband yet.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing specifically, just that God will send you what you are longing for.
The Count has given me a wonderful pair of perfumed gloves.
I'm sorry, my nose is stuffed and I can't smell anything.
Wow, such a young lady and already stuffed. What a way to catch a cold.
Oh, good Lord. Since when have you had such a wit?
As soon as you abandoned yours, don't you think it suits me?
You surely need to break it out more often. Goodness, I feel sick.
To calm your illness, you should put some Cardus Benedictus on your chest. That should fix your fakeness.
Benedictus? Why would you suggest that? Are you trying to imply something?
I assure you that there's no double meaning to what I am saying. I just thought you could use some remedy for your poor health. How dare you think that I could be such a fool to think you are capable of love? However, Benedict has changed from a stubborn man into a reasonable one that is willing to give love. I just hope that we'll be able to convince you to be the same like that eventually.
Why are you talking so fast?
Madame, it's time to go. Senor Benedict, the Count, the Prince, and the rest of the gentlemen have a right to take you to your wedding.
Thank you. Good cousin, come and help me get dressed for my wedding.
Are you all good and honest men?
Yes, they are. Otherwise, it would be improper for them to suffer salvation, body and soul.
If they had any allegiance when we were chosen for the prince's watch, a punishment like that would be too good for them.
Well, give them their assignments, Dogberry.
First, which man do you think is most desertless to be leader of the watch?
Either Hugh Oatcake, sir, or else George Seacole, because both of them can read and write.
Come here, Sir Seacole. God has blessed you with a good name. To be good-looking is a matter of luck, but to read and write is a natural gift.
Both of which are constables.
You have. I knew that would be your answer. Well, for your good looks, sir, thank God and don't boast about it. Come here, Sir Seacole. God has blessed you with a good name. To be good-looking is a matter of luck, but to read and write is a natural gift.
Both of which are constables.
You have. I knew that would be your answer. Well, for your good looks, sir, thank God and don't boast about it. As for your reading and writing, use those skills when you can't use your looks. You're thought to be the most senseless and fit man here, so you will carry the lantern and be constable. This is your assignment. You will comprehend any vagrant man you see. You are to order all men to stop in the prince's name.
If he won't stop when he's told to, then he isn't one of the prince's subjects.
Well then, don't bother with him and let him go. Then immediately call the rest of the watch together and thank God that you've gotten rid of such a criminal.
You've always been known as a merciful man, partner.
True, and you aren't supposed to meddle with anyone but the prince's subjects. You will also stay quiet in the streets, for a babbling watch is most tolerable and will not be endured.
We'll sleep instead of talk, for we know what's appropriate for a watch.
Why, you speak like an experienced and quiet watchman. Sleeping on watch shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure your weapons don't get stolen. Also, you're supposed to visit all the bars and tell anyone who's drunk to go home and go to bed.
And what if they won't go?
Well then, leave them alone until they're sober. If even then they don't give you an answer to your satisfaction, you can say that they're not the men you thought they were.
Very good, sir.
If you meet a thief, you can expect him to be dishonest. The less you have to do with that kind of man, the more honest you will be.
So, if we know that man's a thief, we should try and arrest him.
Permission permits you to, but I think that those who stick their hands in pitch get their hands dirty. If you encounter a thief, I think the most peccable thing to do is let him be himself and steal away. You couldn't even hang a dog, much more a man who has any honesty in him.
If you hear a child crying in the night, you should go wake up the nurse and get her to quiet the child.
What if the nurse is asleep and doesn't hear us?
Well then, leave quietly and let the child's crying wake the nurse. The ewe that doesn't go to her lamb when it baas will never tend to another animal's child.
It's very true.
And that's the end of your assignment. You, constable, are representing the prince himself. If you meet the prince in the night, you can order him to stop.
No, by Our Lady, I would think you can.
Any man who knows the law, 5 shillings to 1 on it. Truly, though, you can't stop the prince without the prince's consent. For the watch shouldn't offend anyone, and it's an offense to keep a man without his consent.
By Our Lady, I think that's true.
Ha ha ha! Well, gentlemen, good night. And if anything important happens, find me and let me know. Keep each other's secrets and your own. Good night, old friend.
Well, gentlemen, we've heard our assignment. Let's sit here on the church bench until 2, and then go off to bed.
One more thing, good gentlemen. Watch over Signor Leonato's house. With the wedding being held there tomorrow, there's a great to-do there tonight. I do. Be vigilant. I beg you.
Conrad! Conrad, I say!
I'm here, man, at your elbow.
Come to think of it, I thought I felt a scab there.
I'll get you for that. Now get on with your story.
Since it's drizzling, stand under this overhang with me, and like a true drunk, I'll tell you everything.
Some treason occurred here, gentlemen.
You should know I've earned 1,000 gold bucks from John.
Is it possible that any crime could be so valuable?
You should ask instead if it's possible that any criminal should be so rich. Because when rich villains need poor villains' services, those poor ones can name the price.
Yes, it's just clothing.
No, I mean, the fashion of a man's clothing tells us nothing about the man.
Yes, fashion is fashion.
Come on, I might as well say the fool's the fool. But don't you see what a deformed villain fashion is?
I know that man, deformed. For the past 7 years, he's been a wicked thief. He walks around as if he were a gentleman. I remember that name.
Did you hear someone?
Just the weather vane moving.
As I was saying, fashion is a deformed villain. It makes hot-blooded young men spin around feverishly forever, changing their appearances, dictating that sometimes they dress like Pharaoh's soldiers in that grimy painting, and sometimes like the priests of the god Baal, like you see in the old church windows. And sometimes fashion dresses them like Hercules in that dirty tapestry where his codpiece seems almost as big as his club.
I get all this, and I also understand how fashion changes so quickly that a man's clothing never gets a chance to wear itself out. But you're all wound up about fashion too. Otherwise, why would you stray away from your story to blabber on about it?
I'm not wound up, but I will tell you that I got with Margaret tonight. I called her Hero the whole time. She leaned out of Hero's window and told me goodnight. But I should backtrack and begin with how John arranged for Pedro, Claudio, and himself to witness the whole charade from the orchard.
And they thought Margaret was Hero.
Well, Pedro and Claudio did, but John knew it was Margaret. They believed it because John first made them doubt Hero, and the night was so dark. Claudio was really angry, swearing he would meet Hero at the altar, and then he would shame her in front of everyone, and then leave her there husbandless. Stop!
Call up the Master Constable Dogberry. We've recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known to the Commonwealth.
And one of them is a criminal deformed. I know by his hair.
Gentlemen, gentlemen.
I bet you'll be forced to bring deformed forward.
Gentlemen, don't speak. We obey you to come with us.
We're probably very valuable to them.
Well, our value is debatable, I bet. Let's go. We'll obey you.